Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly.
Ho!
Jacques.
Ho!
Good evening, folks. Oh, it hit my microphone. Hopefully that's how the Titans hit the Broncos. What's up, y'all? Good
Oh, man.
evening. I'm excited, man. I'm excited, man. Good evening, folks. Hope everyone is doing well today, man, on this Friday as we go into this game against the Denver Broncos, Jacques.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Broncos. The Broncos, a team that we don't play very often, but I think the last time we played it was very funny. It was a funny game. That's the game that I think Talib Khalid got into with Harry Douglas and told him he was going to beat him up when he see him outside. He said, we got the same agent. When I say I'm going to beat it. So that game was very interesting, man. That was very, very, very the Mariota days. And yeah.
So the Denver Broncos, man, they're coming in and coming to Nashville with this guy here, Russell Wilson, man, and their offense and their defense. And we got a lot to talk about for sure for this game.
Sir.
For definitely.
Yes,
so yeah, like I said, we don't play them often at all. It's our second AFC West team that we're playing back to back with the Chiefs, now the Broncos. So this should be a very interesting game, man. So let's get to it, man. So Jacques.
Yes, sir.
So you've watched games, you've done your film study, you've seen the Broncos, you see what they got. So how can we beat the Denver Broncos? If there's two ways we could beat them, how can we win this game?
Well, one way is I noticed, and I don't know if you noticed this, Hawk, even though they have the number 2 ranked defense in the league right now, I believe so, you can actually run on them. And just notice what I seen when they played the Chargers, when they played the Jaguars in London. ETN was going off. Austin Eckler was having a good game. And I was like, I said, for them to have the number 1 defense, you can actually run on these jokers. Right? Now, we know where the number 1 comes from when it comes to the pass perspective. But from an offense perspective, stick to your identity. Your identity is to run the ball, right?
Yep.
Now, we know Todd Downer has made some comments, and I'll get to that in our other segment. I want to add to that. But run the ball. Run the ball. Space will be there, right? It will be there. Another thing is they got rid of Bradley Chubb. They traded Bradley Chubb away, one of their probably best defensive linemen that they've had since then, right? So he's gone. So that tells me, I'm like, run the damn ball. That's all you got to do, right? And then too, and I'm gonna stick to offense, and I'm gonna go to defense. Offensively, to pass the ball, if Ryan Tannehill is quote unquote playing, then you can actually throw on the Broncos, but it has to be in a way where it's safe, if that makes sense, right? Every team that I was seeing playing that played the Broncos, like Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert, they wasn't killing them deep, but they were killing them with like 10 in the middle, on the outside, in the middle. But specifically in the middle is where I see they were gaining their yards. And I said, okay. I said, I like it. I like what I'm seeing. And the Broncos have been in games this season, and it's because of their defense. Now let's go to the other side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball from our perspective. Now, we know we got some key players that are not playing on defense, and this is kind of, I'm not going to say quote-unquote scary, but it kind of sucks. Jeffrey Simmons, who's commands double teams, right? Zach Cunningham, Monty Hooker. Am I missing anybody, Hawk, from the defensive perspective?
None recent, no.
Okay.
Yep.
So those are our main characters that are out, right? And so when I look at it, like, okay, who's going to rush the passer, right? Oh my God. And Bud Dupree, my bad. Bud Dupree's ruled out too with his hip injury.
Oh, that is right. Bud Dupree is out. That's right. That's right.
So you have a Rashad Weaver, Danico Autry, who I think almost leads the team in sacks. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He does lead the team in sacks.
Okay, you got Mario Edwards, you got DeMarcus Walker, you had Kevin Strong, Tierra Tart. You're gonna be okay. Okay. Something that I noticed is Russell Wilson is not the same Russell Wilson from yesteryear, right? We seen him last year when we played the Seahawks, and we were able to contain him. It's the same carbon copy. We need that pass rush to get to him. And the teams that won, I see were able to get to him. They were able to beat them. I looked at the Jets game. The Jets were able to beat them. The Jaguars had a chance to beat them. It was just, they do Jaguar stuff, right? So if you can get to Russell Wilson and throw his timing off, you're good. Offensively, they're not a high-scoring offense. And I told you, for some reason, I've been watching a lot of Broncos games because they've been on prime time a lot. I seen them on the Thursday night game, and it was a boring game. And I said, what's going on? You got Jerry Jeudy, who's a threat, right? You have Courtland Sutton, who's a threat, right? But if your quarterback can't get you the ball, then that's what happens. Now, Russell Wilson, if you can get him to play like the Sierra Russell Wilson, and that's not a shot. That's a shot, not a shot thrown towards Russell, but I mean Russell, he has a different mindset now. So if you can get him playing like he has Sierra on his mind, you good. So that's the two ways that we can beat the Broncos. What about you, Hawk?
Wow, got you, brother. Got you, man. Got you. So we watched a lot of the same stuff as well, too, man. Uh, as you mentioned about the Denver Broncos, their scoring offense is pretty bad. They're 30th in the league at 15 points a game. And one player that's playing bad is Russell Wilson. Okay, he's not playing well at all. And I think at the end of the day, Jeffrey Simmons being out is going to hurt our run defense in some ways, right? And then Zach Cunningham as well. Those are two run stoppers for sure, right? But I think we have enough to stop their run. Their run offense isn't too scary. They're 21st in the league in run offense. You got Melvin Gordon. You got Latavius Murray as well. Those guys run. They're decent running backs. But I think we can stop that. And it's sad to say, we got to put it in this man's hands. In his hands, Russell Wilson's hands. And what's so crazy, he has weapons. Judy, now Hamler's out. KJ Hamler's out. Now he likes to throw it to Hamler, but he's out. But you got Sutton and you got Judy and the tight end Dortch that just started playing recently. He's pretty good, the tight end. So he's got weapons. But when you look at it, they're very inefficient. One thing Russell Wilson has always done, he's thrown the ball deep very well. But in the games I saw, even in his attempts to throw the ball deep, he wasn't getting it there. Just wasn't. I was just like, wow. So when you look at our defense, we've had some struggles on pass defense in a lot of ways, but we're not giving up a lot of touchdowns. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so I think we can still do it. We just got through playing the number one offense with the number two offense in the league, number one in scoring offense in the league just last week. We held them to 20 points. Jeffrey Simmons is not out there. That could be a difference, but I don't think it'll be enough to say, hey, we can't stop their offense. Their offense isn't scary because of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is playing bad. And even when they had Rippon in against the Chargers, he didn't do well either. So I don't know if it's play calling from Denver, but Denver has an incredible defense. Their defense is good, but their offense sucks. So I just think, allow them, stop the run. Is what I'm saying. Stop the run, put it in Russell Wilson's hands. I think that'll be huge on the offensive side. On the defensive side for them, when I look at their pass defense, they got some ballers. When you look at Denver's total defense, they're number 2 in the league in total defense, okay? And number 1 in pass defense. And why is that, you ask? These guys, Patrick Surtain and Justin Simmons, okay? These guys here are some beasts, okay? Simmons is a hell of a safety, kind of like a Byard. He's doing as an athlete. And Surtain is a shutdown corner, man. He's a shutdown corner. But how you can beat them? Their defense, their run defense is okay, but Travis Etienne went off. Yep. And the thing I see about Denver, they don't tackle well. Nope. They got a lot of guys. They got guys that try to hit you, but they don't wrap up. And you got Derrick Henry in the game, man. Okay? So this is going to be a great opportunity for us to run the football against the Denver Broncos. Excuse me. Denver has an opportunity. Thank you. I think Denver will do their best to try to sack the box. And I do think Ryan Tannehill is going to play. I mean, it hasn't come out yet, but I anticipate him to play. So for us, we have to be efficient in running the football. Hopefully, Treylon Burks will be out there. You can run those inside routes, like you said, Jacques. It is open in the middle for sure. The outside is not open. Do not throw it on the outside. It will get shut down. Look in the middle. But it's on Derrick Henry. It's on our offensive line. If they do well, we'll beat the Denver Broncos.
I totally agree. All right, from the opposite of that, how can the Titans lose the game? Give us 2 reasons.
I think, man, more than anything, dude, hey, don't be too careless at throwing the football, man. I don't care who's out there. These guys here are ready, okay? The number 1 pass defense in the league. And when you look at their depth chart, you see they got Kareem Jackson. He's their hard hitter. He's been in the league for a long time. But Simmons, Keywan Williams is pretty good out there. They play Damian Mathis a lot as well. They got Pat Surtain. So this is the strength of their defense. Don't get too cute throwing it deep. You know what I'm saying? I know we want to. We don't have the receivers. As we mentioned in our last show, man, this is how the receivers look, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how they looked last week. And you win against not a really good pass defense. You're playing against an elite pass defense. Don't get cute, okay? This is our receiver core right now. Okay. And so if we allow them to try to control the game, hey, keep it simple. As you mentioned, Jacques, facts, no paper. Stick to your MO. Run the ball. Run the football. Keep ball control as much as you can. Their defense, they run around the ball. And I'm not scared of Denver offensively. I don't really have a concern on their offense. It's their defense and it's their DBs. Their DBs are better than our receivers, flat out. And if you get too cute, you throw it Patrick Surtain's way too much, he's gonna get a pick. Throw it deep as much as you want to Simmons, he's gonna get a pick. So keep it keep it simple. If you're gonna throw the ball, throw it against their linebackers. Throw it to Austin Hooper. Throw it to Chig. Get Traylon Burks involved on curl routes, inside routes, things like that. But if we don't, we'll lose. What about for you, Jacques?
I'm gonna stick to the offensive side because, like I said, I'm not worried about our defense. Our defense, I feel like they can hold fort and do what they need to do. On the offensive side of the ball, his name is Todd Downing. How can we lose this game on the offensive side of the ball? Now, he made a comment earlier, and he took accountability. And they asked him about the routes and the receivers and why they can't get off their blocks and everything like that. And yeah, I'm talking to you, Todd. It's okay, bro. I'm talking to you. I give you credit because he gave him account. He took accountability.
He did.
My thing is, the problem, fix the issue. And like you said earlier, with that secondary, which is a damn good secondary, if you don't get nothing and scheme nothing up to where it gets them open in the middle and allows those passes to get passed in the middle, I don't care who's playing quarterback. It can be Tannehill on his bum ankle, or it can be Malik Willis. This is going to be a long day, and you're not going to be able to pass the ball, like you said. So to me, we need to score points this game. Defensively, like I said, I've seen the Broncos play, and if you got a good defense, you can hold them at bay. And you can stay in the game, and they'll let you stay in the game too.
Facts.
The problem is on offense, when it's time to pass the ball, can you scheme something to get Nick Westbrook open? Traylon, well, I know Traylon's going to kind of get open, but still scheme something towards his strengths, right? Because you're going up against a strong secondary that's not going to let you get too much, and that's not going to let you get too many yards. So if you can scheme something, it can make sense. If you don't scheme nothing to get this offensive going early and get it rolling and get in a rhythm, you're going to lose this game.
Yeah. That's some great points, Jacques. So speaking of the Denver Broncos, we've looked at the tape. If there's a player that we need to keep our eye on for the Denver Broncos, who should that be?
A player. I would say, I'm going to go on the offensive side. I'm going to say Courtland Sutton. Okay. He's a sneaky good receiver, number 14, who you throw it up there, even when Russell has thrown it. And when I've watched the games, he looks for him a lot as well. Not just the tight end, but he looks for Sutton a lot. I thought he was looking for Jerry Jeudy. How I know this, guys, Jerry Jeudy's on my fantasy team. So I'm going to follow you what you're doing. And he's not been very good this year. So all I've done, when I'm looking at the game, I'm like, he's going for Sutton every doggone time. And I'm like, okay, that's his guy. And if you kind of let Sutton get settled, Russell, like I said, their offense is not powerful, but he will throw one up and get them in scoring position. And that's the last thing that you want. And he's a good 50-50 guy that can catch that 50-50 ball. So somebody that I'm not scared of, but you should be keeping your eye on is Sutton for me. What about you, Hawk?
Bro, that's a great point. On Sutton, I do think he's a guy that we do need to keep our eye on him for sure. I see the same thing. So when I go down the depth chart for Denver, there's a guy that I feel that could do something, and that's their tight end, Greg Dulcich. Now, again, he's only been out there for a few weeks, man. But I'm gonna tell you something. Since he's been out there, Russell Wilson looks for this guy. Okay, he looks for him. He kind of looks like a Cody Hollister, but as a tight end. Okay, he does, doesn't he? He got a lot of hair. This guy here, he's a rookie, and I've seen him playing, and when I look at him, I'm like, wow, this guy, he throws him the ball a lot. So we have to keep our eye on the tight end. Travis Kelce, which he's not, but Travis Kelce had 10 catches against us last week, okay? And so we're allowing the middle to be open for the most part. Like, we're containing the outside. But we got to watch this guy here, number 80. We got to keep our eye on this guy. He's young. Russell Wilson right now is not throwing the ball deep on the outside well at all. I mean, there's rumors that Tennessee Titans try to get Jerry Jeudy. There's rumors that Jerry Jeudy wants to get out of Denver. We've seen tape of them cussing each other out, and not to Russell Wilson, but them talking to themselves like, Hey man, this boy Russell Wilson, that boy trash out here, bro. That
Mm-hmm,
boy
mm-hmm,
garbage right now, bro.
mm-hmm.
He's not getting me the ball at all.
Oh, yep.
And they got receivers.
They
They
do.
got receivers. But
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna pay attention to them. Watch this guy here. Watch number 80, Dolchich, man.
Yep.
That's what I think we need to be careful for.
Mm-hmm.
The tight
I
end.
heard they. I heard they also sidebar. They was going after Bradley Chubb too. So it
Yes.
sounded like they were trying to get a package deal going, which would have been dope. Like would have been
Yeah.
crazy. But
Would have been.
yep. So who should have a big game for us from a Titan perspective?
Well, looking at their defense, I don't see us being successful passing the ball. And I don't care if it's Tannehill or Malik Willis, it's going to be a struggle passing the ball against the defense. Jeffrey Simmons is going to be out. I would have said Jeffrey Simmons probably would have been the guy that would have had a big game against the Broncos. But I'm going to tell you this, man. I think this guy here is going to have a hell of a game, and that's the King. I think the King will have a hell of a game. It's on the King, man. It's on him. They're going to get, of course, stack the box. They're going to try to do that. Travis Etienne had 156 yards rushing against him last week. Okay.
Yep.
Now they did beat the Jags. You know what I'm saying? They did beat the Jags. But I would say too that, running the ball against them can happen. All right. They won 21-17 against the Jags in London. But I looked at Austin Eckler with the Chargers, ran all over them, right? So it's like, oh, Denver, I mean, y'all defense is cold, but y'all can't stop the run worth the down. Like, players will come up to try to hit running backs, but it's not successful. A lot of missed tackles, and they made Travis Etienne look like, I said, is that damn Marshall Faulk?
Mm-hmm.
Is that LaShawn McCoy? That's all. I was like,
London.
damn. So I expect the King to at least get at least 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. Okay. And put it like this: if he doesn't, we're not going to win. If he does, we can win this game. So what about you, Jacques?
I'm gonna go on a defensive perspective. I'm going to go with Danico Autry. I feel like Danico Autry he's going to make up for what Simmons has not been there, right? And I think with having Danico Autry out there, man, who I think leads the team in sacks, like I said before, I think he's been smelling it, he's been feeling it, and I think he's going to continue that pursuit. And Russell Wilson is not a fast guy, so he's a lot easier to he's hard to bring down because he's real tough and built strong at the bottom. But when you can get him, you can get him. He's one of those thick little quarterbacks you can just get and take down. So I feel like Danico Autry and the Broncos' offensive line is okay. They're okay, but you can really attack the middle with their offensive line. So just look out for Danico Autry, man. And this is a hell of a pickup from John Robinson. I know we give him hell sometimes, but on the defensive side of the ball, man, that was a great pickup to get Danico Autry. So for me, Danico Autry.
Absolutely. So Jacques, man, so you feel good about this game, bro?
I do. I've actually felt good, like just looking at Broncos. For some reason, the Broncos have been on TV a lot. So everything that I've seen when I was watching them, I said, man, we can beat the Broncos. You can beat the Broncos. And I just feel like Russell Wilson is not the same as he was when he was with the Seahawks about 5-6 years ago. He's just not the same, right? And like you said earlier, his deep ball is not how it used to be. So, yes, I am confident that we can stick and beat. Man, we almost beat the Chiefs with Malik Willis at the helm. So I have confidence in Vrabel in Vrabel. I'm about to say the coaching staff, but Vrabel to get us ready to get going, right? So that's me. Yeah, I feel good about it. What about you?
Yeah, I feel good about it too. I do think there's going to be some factors in this game. We can lose. I will say that if we're not careful because of their defense. Okay, their defense could turn up, but their offense they don't score points. They just don't score. And that works in our favor. The teams that have beat us have been teams that can really score the football. And then the Bills and the damn Chiefs, the New York Giants score pretty well too. So I feel confident about this game based on just being, like I said, coaching. Our offensive line, I think it beat their defensive line. And I think, again, I just think our defense is still even without Jeffrey Simmons, I think our defense is good enough to beat the Denver Broncos, man.
I agree.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, folks, we want to again say thank you all for watching the show, y'all, as we get ready for this Denver Broncos game. I know Jacques will be at the game. So, we're going to get this thing cooking, of course, for the post game. You can always check us out on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. You can check us out on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. Check us out on TikTok, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Again, we have our merchandise that's online as well, man. Check us out on Teespring, teespring.com, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Search us up, man, and we are there. Holla at us.
And when you do check us out, man, make sure to like, subscribe, share the content. It gets us in the YouTube algorithm, and it gets us out there. And we trying to grow our channel, man. We at 2K now. We trying to hit that 3K soon. So come join the weekly family. We don't bite, and hey, we respect everybody's opinions. And let's get to the Broncos, man, and do what we got to do, man, to win this game and go on to the next.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we hope you all have a great rest of your day and great weekend as well, too. Hey, let's tighten up. Let's get this victory, John. Let's get to it, man. For sure.
Yes, sir.
So as we always say, folks, facts.
No paper.